Hello. This video is to briefly go over how PackBack, the online system that we're using for writing in this course, is going to work. There are generally two types of assignments that I'm posting on here. Polls, which are pretty simple and informal, and then longer writing assignments, which you'll also see called deep dives on PackBack. Okay. Any of the links from Folio are going to take you to this home page, and you're always going to want to go to PackBack from those links in Folio. Okay. You'll see them with different names of assignments, and you should then see those assignments coming up here in the open assignments on your home page on PackBack. So for example, here at the beginning of the course, I have an open poll assignment and an associated welcome to PackBack, just to get you familiar with how the system works and some topics we'll be discussing in the course. Okay. So for the polls, it's very simple. You're just going in and responding to that particular poll or series of polls, which in this case I have 3, just to get you thinking about some of the topics for this course on environmental biology. And then in addition, there's an associated writing assignment that's tied to the last item in the poll. So once you complete the poll, come here to this Welcome to PackBack assignment. And this is an example of what any of the writing assignments for this course might look like. Okay. Of course, they'll be more detailed than this very first one, but it gives you a chance to work in the system. Okay. And if you're not familiar with using AI or any of these online writing type platforms, it's okay. It's going to be pretty straightforward, and there are a lot of features to guide you along the way. Okay. I'm going to show you some of those now. Generally, once you come into an assignment, you're going to have a button that says Start My Deep Dive, which is starting the writing assignment. And you'll have these panels here that give you information about the assignment. Okay. So this prompt is where I've described the assignment overall. So in this case, you see the poll options that I'm referencing from the poll. And then there are some questions to answer, which are guiding questions for you to use as you're writing the assignment, such as, in this case, can you see the feedback? Did you answer the poll? What are your thoughts on that topic? Okay. There's also a rubric. So there will always be a rubric associated with the writing assignments on PackBack. Okay. There are also rubrics associated with many of the assignments that are on Folio as well. Okay. So in this case, the rubric is pretty simple. Okay. Did you discuss the topic from the poll? Okay. Did you maybe not really discuss it that much? 1 versus 2 points. There's a word count, and this is part of where some of the AI and writing guidance tools on PackBack can be really handy, because it not only pays attention to just the strict word count, but also does it seem like you're answering the prompts that I've set up in the assignment. Okay, so it's going to look for actual content as well as writing and grammar checking and overall flow of the assignment. So a lot more than just a Grammarly or Microsoft Word sort of spell checker. So all of that is on the front page for the assignment. Okay. Once you click Start your deep dive, you end up with this nice blank page to get started on. You also have a research notes page, which may be useful for some assignments and not for others. So your use of that may vary. Works cited is going to be used in the later major assignments and for the hot topics assignments. So you'll sometimes see a required number of sources listed, and you can go through and add sources in here as citations, and it'll kind of build a basic bibliography or works cited page for you for the assignment as well. And then you can go in and edit and make any changes that you need to. But it's a great prompt to get you started and to help keep track of your sources. Same thing here with the research notes. So you can write whatever you want to keep track of for your assignment. This isn't something that's part of the submission. On the right here, there are some particularly helpful tabs tied to the draft of your actual assignment. So this is where you'll see feedback on the writing. Okay. Feedback on the content itself. So you can always go here and view the prompt again. Okay. view the rubric again right alongside your assignment. Okay. There is a built-in AI assistant chat to help guide you and just to kind of help brainstorm, which is honestly one of the most useful tools that generative AI has, is kind of summarizing and coming up with ideas. Okay. You've also got your sources and kind of a log of your history for writing the assignment. Okay. The tabs that you're probably going to use the most are the feedback and perhaps the chat, depending on what your writing familiarity and style and work mechanisms are for these essays. Here's an example of what that might look like once you start writing. Right? So one of the longer writing assignments for this course is the environmental explanations. So this is showing an example from part 2 of the 3 parts for this assignment, which is an essay that you're going to be building in several pieces over time through the course. Okay? So how the environmental explanations assignments work will be covered in more depth in a later video, but here I wanted you to see what sort of feedback it provides to you and where to find that information. Okay. So here on the feedback tab again, you've got the content requirements and then the feedback. Okay, you can see if you click on this, it's going to immediately tell you some feedback on the really basic requirements like word count, something that's very important for academic writing, like kind of how you're writing. Does this sound like an academic paper? And you have to take all of these with a grain of salt. You know, if your writing style is simply different than what this is suggesting, that's fine. As long as it's still a solid essay, then that's going to be not something that you're going to be penalized for. Okay? Things like word count, hey, that you might actually get penalized for. Okay? Let's see. If we go back to the writing assignment, we can see, again, each of these different sets. Okay, so you can see it's pulling things like detail on point of view, okay, sentence structure, grammar, basics, and more complex issues. But then the best part of this is going down here to these guiding questions. Okay, so if you go to the guiding questions and click on one, it's going to highlight sections of your text that you have written in your essay that seem like they might be answers to the particular guiding questions. So on this example, all of these are highlighted in orange, as you know, maybe there's at least one possible answer. None of them are highlighted in green as definitely answered, and you can see where it thinks you answered that in each of these tabs. Okay, and just as to recap there, that was scrolling down here to guiding questions. Okay, you can also go back to the basic prompt, okay, and rubric, all in this same panel, and your essay is still right here beside this. Okay, so I really like the way that this tool is built to work alongside you as you write, and I think that this is one of the features that helps students actually use the rubrics that the faculty provide for these assignments, instead of the rubric existing and it never being opened until the 5 minutes before you submit the assignment, which I know it happens. Okay. If you're getting stuck in a portion of an assignment, you know, go to the chat, you know, see if you can ask it a basic question about, you know, okay, what's a perspective that I could take on this topic? So for an example, from this one that we said here, we're talking about clothes. So we might say, what are some perspectives on how we think about clothes or fast fashion? And this is just one example. Okay, so even just with one simple question, it's giving you several ideas to think about. We have environmental impact, ethics, specifically with the workers in the fashion industry, consumer behavior, what drives choices. All of those are seeds for actually writing your essay. Okay, so all of these tools can be helpful. Take them or leave them as much as you'd like, but either way, hopefully they'll help you write a good essay. Okay. Once you're actually done, you'll be submitting these assignments right here on PackBack. Okay, some of the really basic requirements here, like a minimum word count, it won't actually let you submit the assignment until you meet that. But most everything else is still going to be graded by me. Okay, so it's not automatically scoring and discarding your assignment based on any sort of AI cheating or perceptions or anything like that. All of this information is here to guide you. All right, so to kind of wrap that up, I'm just going to go back to the home page for this course. Okay, and you can see again that it always shows you what assignments are open and available to you right here on the home page, and those will be polls and writing assignments for this course.